What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Joey. This is Railroad Talk, and we're here to help you land a job with the railroad, learn about the railroad, anything to do with the railroad, we talk about it. But today we're going to talk about the Safe Freight Act. Why is it so important? Why should you care? Why does it need to be passed? So let's go ahead and jump straight to the video. Be sure and leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more. And if you need to get in touch to contact me, if you have any questions about being a conductor, do not hesitate to reach me down below. In the description, all my links, all my socials are down there. So what is the Safe Freight Act? The Safe Freight Act is a bill that was published or sent to the House on March 13th, 2019. It is a bill simply stating the bill prohibits the operation of a freight train or light locomotive engine used in the movement of freight unless there is a crew of at least two individuals, one of whom is certified by the FRA, the Federal Railroad Administration, as a locomotive operator engineer, and the other as a train conductor. So why do we need this bill? Now that you know what the bill is simply saying you must have an engineer conductor on the head end at all times, no matter what train it is. I don't care if you've got a 9,000 foot train or you only have a locomotive light engines going to another yard. You got to have two. So why do we need this bill? We need this bill strictly due to PTC and Trip Optimizer. I'm gonna have a video tomorrow about PTC and Trip Optimizer, but I'm gonna have these videos kind of laid out in a way to where you can see, you start with this picture, which is going to be the Safe Freight Act, and you're going to start to see the bigger picture by the end of the third day, which is going to be on Sunday. But we need to have the Safe Freight Act due to PTC and Trip Optimizer. PTC is a safety device that is implemented on Class 1 railroad locomotives. It is pretty much, it tells you how fast you can go. It tells you signals, tells you what your signal is, way out, miles away that you can't even see. It tells you what's going on all up ahead in front of you based on a little computer screen. Trip Optimizer is a software that operates the locomotive for the engineer. It will run the train by itself. They click start. Their job is to hit the horn through crossings, and they'll actually hit the horn for them if they don't do it. But they'll hit the horn through the crossings, and they hit the alerter and make sure that he's still awake. So you can see why a conductor's job may not be too important, to at least in a Class 1's mind, because they're not really doing much, right? We're just over there talking to the dispatcher or, copying down track authorities or whatever the case may be, and track authorities are going out the window, from what I was told by our train master here in Birmingham, that they're slowly doing away with that. It's all going to be on PTC. So this bill is very important to get passed. Pretty much these Class 1s are trying to go all automated. And why? There's 48,000 supposedly conductors and yard masters. For some reason, they clumped them up together. 48,000 conductors in the United States. The annual salaries, or the average salary, is around $67,000 a year. And if you can do away with 10,000 of those jobs, you're saving a crap ton of money. And these, you have to look at it from a business perspective. These railroads are businesses. They're trying to save money. They're trying to cut costs. They're trying to keep their quarterly earnings going up to impress investors, so they'll invest in their company more. Get back on the topic of why do we need it. We need it in case a knuckle happens. Dragging equipment over wheel detectors. If we hit somebody, hit a car, we got to get out and go check on them. Anything that requires for the train to stop, a conductor's job is to get down. The train is the conductor's responsibility. So from the last engine, the first freight car, all the way to the rear, that is our responsibility. It is the engineer's job to get it from point A to point B. So if we hit somebody and it causes a train to stop, we have to go check it out. If a derail happens, we got to go back there and check it out. We got to see which car it is. We got to see what materials are in the cars. If there's a leak, we have to evacuate. We have to evacuate certain cities based on wind speed. They give you a big giant orange book about this thick and about yay big. And if you derail, you can look at your consists and see what cars it is. Get an idea of where it is and see what cars are derailed, and hope to God there's no leaks, right? And also you need this bill too, because what if something happens to the engineer? What if he has a heart attack or he passes out, diabetic, some kind of underlying health issue that causes him, just to go out, die? Who knows? You need somebody on the head end that can stop that train, right? Because right now, Trip Optimizer and PTC, at least when I was there, are not linked together right. So if we copy a slow order on PTC, pops up and it says we got slow order 10 miles an hour at milepost 100 to 101. Trip Optimizer does not see that slow order, and that Trip Optimizer will continue at track speed. So the engineer has to take over, cut trip optimizer off, slow the train down for the slow order, and then he can kick it back on once the rear clears the slow order. So that may have changed now. I don't know, but that's the biggest problem. But really, it's for safety for the public is why we need conductors on the train to make sure the engineer, if the engineer something has an engineer, we're there. Something happens to the train, we're there. If we derail, we're there. And if we derail, we know what materials are in these tanks. And if we need to evacuate, we can because we know who to call based on the book they give us. All right, so that's why we need the Safe Freight Act in a nutshell. There's a lot more dynamics in that. There's a lot more reasons, but that's the main ones I can think of. And, pretty much this video in a nutshell. I know it's short and sweet, but the Safe Freight Act is something that needs to be talked about. Now, I will try not to get too political. The Safe Freight Act is favored by the Democrats, not the Republicans. I've reached out to Gary Palmer here in Alabama. He's a Republican. And Doug Jones, he was a Democrat. Doug Jones supported it. Gary Palmer did not. And now with newly elected Tommy Tuberville, I've already talked to Tommy about the Safe Freight Act. And he was man enough to tell me that he didn't really know anything about it, that he would get back with me. And I can respect that. So hopefully, when this gets pushed to the Senate, Tommy's going to be sitting there going, oh yeah, I remember Joey talking about this, because I'm talking about pages on, like a massive page on Facebook about why this should be passed. And pretty much everything I just spoke about, pretty much him broke down a lot more for him to understand for safety reasons. So I think it's going to get passed. But but another thing too, if you're a newer conductor or you're looking to become a conductor, don't let this scare you. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty positive this bill would be passed eventually. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I wouldn't let this scare you. If you get in, within the next couple of years, you'll have seniority. If they were to start doing away with conductors, they're only going to do away with them on a through freight train basis, I believe. So like your coal trains and your stack trains that are just we call them through freight. Pull in the yard, step on, step off. You step off the train, another crew comes up, steps on the train, and leaves and goes to Memphis or goes to wherever. That's where I think they're going to start first. I hope this video is informative. If you have any questions, please let me know. Everything's going to be down in the bottom. If you enjoy these type of videos, please be sure and subscribe, like the video. Y'all guys are killing the likes. Everybody's liking the crap out of the video. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. The channels are growing quickly, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully around the same time. Y'all take it easy.